Video game actors pour their blood, sweat, and tears into portraying their pixelated counterparts, so it comes as no surprise that, like their big and small screen brethren, they too are demanding changes. What better place to make those demands heard than the picket line?
We are labor and we stand tall and we demand respect.
For the last few months, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, aka SAG-AFTRA, has been on strike. The hope of these actors, similar to the concurrent WGA strike, is to open up a dialogue with major Hollywood companies about better wages and clearer regulation of AI-produced content, among other stipulations. Although the WGA strike appears to be coming to a close, the SAG-AFTRA strike continues unabated, essentially putting the kibosh on any major Hollywood productions for the time being. And it looks like video game voice actors will soon be joining the good fight.
SAG-AFTRA could soon authorize a strike against major video game companies.
On Monday night, members of SAG-AFTRA voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike authorization for its members employed in the video game industry. Out of 34,687 ballots, 98.32% are ready to hit the streets and demand better working conditions. SAG-AFTRA's Chief Contracts Officer Ray Rodriguez explained, between the exploitative uses of AI and lagging wages, those who work in video games are facing many of the same issues as those who work in film and television. This strike authorization makes an emphatic statement that we must reach an agreement that will fairly compensate these talented performers, provide common-sense safety measures, and allow them to work with dignity. Now, it should be noted that this vote does not mean that unionized video game actors are 100% going to strike. Instead, it acts as a sign that these performers mean business, much like back in 2016, when the last video game actors' strike occurred. The purpose of this vote is to act as a bargaining tool, letting the companies involved know that these actors will strike if negotiations do not go well. SAG-AFTRA will again meet with representatives from the video game industry on September 26th through 28th, after which the strike may be officially underway. In a statement posted to the Guild's official website, SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher, yes, that Fran Drescher,
never, ever, ever cross a picket line,
said, "It's time for the video game companies to stop playing games and get serious about reaching an agreement on this contract. The time is now for these companies, which are making billions of dollars and paying their CEOs lavishly, to give our performers an agreement that keeps performing in video games as a viable career." In the event of a full strike, several major gaming companies' upcoming projects will be impacted. Given how long video game production cycles tend to last these days, the effects of the strike probably wouldn't be immediately apparent. However, it's worth noting that major Hollywood releases have been delayed due to other talent strikes happening this year, so it would not be out of the realm of possibilities for video games to follow suit. The following companies have been named in the strike authorization press release: Activision Productions Incorporated, Blindlight LLC, Disney Character Voices Incorporated, Electronic Arts Productions Incorporated, Formosa Interactive LLC, Insomniac Games Incorporated, Epic Games, Take-Two Productions Incorporated, VoiceWorks Productions Incorporated, and WB Games Incorporated. According to the union, SAG-AFTRA has been actively negotiating with these companies for just under a year, but they've been unable to come to agreements on significant sticking points, quote, including wages that keep up with inflation, protections around exploitative uses of artificial intelligence, and basic safety precautions. Thus far, responses to SAG-AFTRA's vote have largely been positive on social media, with streamers and writers in particular standing in solidarity with the union. On X, formerly known as Twitter, Marvel, Spider-Man 2, and iZombie writer Rob Foreman posted, "So proud of SAG-AFTRA members for continuing to stand up and demand a fair contract, not just in legacy traditional media, but in interactive media like video games." Back in 2014, SAG-AFTRA entered negotiations with multiple video game companies to reach new agreements on pay, safety precautions preventing unnecessary vocal damage, and a new level of transparency when it comes to accepting new roles.
I have bled from the throat, I've thrown up in the booth, I've passed out in the booth.
Negotiations continued into 2016, but eventually fell through, leading to a strike that lasted a staggering 340 days, the longest actors' strike in history. During that time, the affected video game companies remained mostly silent on which specific productions have been impacted, although some games, including Life is Strange Before the Storm, ended up recasting roles or scrapping content when the actors originally involved refused to participate.
Is this nervousness? Is that what this feeling is?
When the strike finally ended in 2017, SAG-AFTRA agreed to a 3-year contract that addressed some of the guild's issues. Although video game actors are still not paid residuals, one of the strike's biggest demands, a new bonus system, was rolled out that scales to a game's sales figures. It remains to be seen how long this strike could last if SAG-AFTRA does indeed go forward with it. Gamers will simply have to wait and see how the next round of negotiations pan out.